Hi there, and welcome to the Rome Floyd Chamber Show here on Rome Business Radio. We are broadcasting from the Hardy Realty Studios on beautiful Broad Street in downtown Rome, Georgia. I am Roger Manus with Rome Business Radio.
I'm Karley Parker with the Rome Floyd Chamber. This episode is really just a chamber episode because we've got two guests from the chamber, or my coworkers, Megan Patrick, who's the director of operations, and then Mary Rico Evans with the director of events.
Hello, ladies.
You have a, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There's the fake crowd noise. Okay. How are we? Thank y'all so much for being here.
Good. How are you?
I'm great. So lots going on at the chamber. We're expanding. We're adding people. We're now. So Mary, you're in the new role.
Yes.
Okay, but you had been at the chamber.
Yes. This is my second year at the chamber. I've been there through a lot of changes and stuff. So I'm very excited to start my new role as director of events.
And which means,
yeah,
it sounds all encompassing.
I know.
You have a lot of events.
Yes, right. And it is so different because she's in charge of a lot of different events that are coming and new to the chamber.
Okay,
yes.
So let's talk. Go.
I guess big event that we have every year is our annual meeting, stuff like that. So I'll definitely be in charge of that. The expo and stuff that we had last year. In charge of planning stuff like that. All our intercity trips, welcome receptions.
When you say intercity trips, talk more about that.
Yes. So intercity trips is basically a trip where we take community members from Rome to go visit another local city or another community to kind of learn about how their process is. So.
Gotcha. So go steal some ideas.
Yes, go learn about their government, how they do things, their downtown development, how they, what events they throw and stuff like that, what kind of, businesses they have and things like that. So,
is that a new thing or have we been doing this a while?
It's a newer thing.
Okay.
Yes, so we're going to start that very soon.
It's a good idea.
Not that it's going to happen very soon, but we will start planning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
New programming. We have a lot of new programming going on in the chamber.
Planning takes time.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Need more bodies, and you've added the bodies. Good.
Yes. Yeah, she has this huge calendar in her office for 2024. It's not even this calendar, but and her sticky notes on it. I'm like, this would give me so much
I have
anxiety.
to color code it.
Color coordination.
Yeah. If not, I'll forget
everything. You're one of those people.
I am.
A sticky note color code calendar person. Okay.
I very much am.
Well, that's actually good to know.
I mean, we need that for an events person.
I feel like that describes my whole personality. I guess just like, you use sticky notes on a calendar. Got it. But I guess like the major thing that we're launching actually next month is our TRC program, which is it's a total resource campaign.
Yep.
So we previously we've done a capital campaign. And so we're kind of steering away from that to a total resource campaign. And it's going to be called Elevate. We've actually have some information on our website and on our social media about it. Not too much. I can't give too much away yet. But it's I know.
In the broadcasting business, we call this a tease.
A tease, yes. But it's a volunteer-based program where basically all our programming is going to be sponsorable. So things like Leadership Rome, Karley's new member orientations, her ambassador program.
If you can think of it, it can be sponsored.
It can be sponsored. So any little small things. So
and we're adding a lot of new things too.
Yeah. So we have a lot of exciting programming coming through that way.
Okay, so that's kind of, it sounds like that's chamber wide, but kind of under your.
Yeah, she takes the lead. She's point of contact. You have questions, bother Mary.
Yes. and please bother me if you have any questions about it. Because we're very, very excited. Like Karley said, I am the lead of it, but all of us as a chamber are pretty heavily involved. So,
all right, what do we bother you about, Megan?
A lot of different other things.
Everything.
Yes.
As director of operations now, so Mary, this was your old position, and you slid into a newly created one,
Right?
But the job has changed a little bit for Megan, right?
Yes, we've added a lot of things.
Well, and Megan, this is just your second week, right?
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought I'd bring her on to the podcast.
well, welcome. We're throwing you in the deep end of the pool.
Yes.
Have you even gotten a paycheck yet?
Actually, yeah.
we made sure to pay her.
Well, so tell us about your new job and what you anticipate your duties being, since perhaps you don't know them all yet.
I'm learning as I go with some things, but ordering, invoicing, billing, that kind of stuff, answering the phone, just kind of helping wherever I'm needed.
Nuts and
she
bolts,
helped
the
me
backbone.
a lot. Me and Mary worked really close together. So now me and Megan, not that me and Mary won't work close together, just in a different role.
Yeah.
Me and Megan work really closely together because she kind of keeps me on track with like billing wise, like who is a little bit behind on their membership dues and who I need to reach out to. And she also helps me with kind of prospects. Like if someone wants information or like walks in the door, Megan kind of fills them out to see who needs, like if it's a nonprofit, maybe they need to go to Eric. If it's just a new business, that she needs to contact me.
So you're a little bit of a traffic cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a good way to put it.
Yeah, like just a middleman all around.
And sort of looking for maybe anything that might fall through the cracks and picking
Yes.
it up. And
She organizes all of us for sure.
do you have sticky notes and a calendar? And
I'm not at that level yet, but that's what I aspire to be.
Let me show you my ways.
you're like the mentor.
And she does like all the bookkeeping pretty much. Like she keeps us on check spending wise, what we can spend, what we can't spend on. I'm trying to think what else, because we had this application that she had to obviously apply for, and it's 2 pages, 2.5 pages long of responsibilities.
What's on there we haven't mentioned yet? I mean, I don't want you to read the whole 2 pages, but if we kind of summed it all up, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, pretty much, honestly.
So one of the things that's interesting, and just so our listeners know how vibrant and important the chamber is to the community and reflecting the community, is the chamber's growth. So Mary, you've been there how long?
2 years.
Okay. And how big was the staff when you started?
Well, at first it was 5, then it grew to,
Dropped
grew
down.
to dropped
to 3.
down to 3.
Right.
For a long while there. So it was just me, Pam, and Amber for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, until we added Eric, and then
me.
And then luckily, Karley and Alex came.
We were 3 months behind Eric and like kind of getting hired, and it was us for the longest time. And I know Pam wanted to add the director of events role for a year.
Yeah,
because there just is always an event.
Yes, and it kind of got certain responsibilities kind of got thrown onto people. It landed on Mary a lot. So
you were doing it anyway.
Yes. Especially like annual meeting and expo, one of our two biggest events. And like, we also have a great golf tournament and, leadership graduation and all that. Mary would have to assist us in everything. Yeah. So this was just more, and especially now we're introducing the new sponsorship program, Elevate. She couldn't do both.
Yeah, and it seems like, if it's kind of done being around the staff, you never know. Somebody needs to have the point to make sure every T is crossed and every I is dotted. Because if so-and-so's, I'll take care of this event and I'll take care of this event, stuff would fall through the cracks unless Mary was there.
Yeah. It very much did, I guess. At sometimes we pieced everything together, though.
Yeah,
we all work very well together. So
okay, so Megan, what's your background? Where'd you come from?
I grew up in Tennessee in the Gatlinburg area. Okay, and I went to Barry, and
there you go. There,
just stuck around. I met my husband at Barry, and we've just love it here.
Okay. Did you? What was your job before? Or
I worked at a bank.
Okay,
and I before that worked in property management.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so now you're just part of the chamber community.
Yes.
And are you overwhelmed or is it no? Okay.
No,
it's just kind of,
I've been telling it's like a different pace. It's a lot slower than what I'm used to, just in the sense like I'm still kind of getting my feet wet, but I love it so far. Everyone's been really great. I'm having a really good time.
Right. It's a lot slower till there's an event.
Yeah. Or I guess when the TRC campaign, because we'll be getting a lot more calls and emails, and again, we try to bring our staff on the podcast so people know who to contact, but it kind of gets jumbled.
Yeah.
So Megan will have to kind of deal with that too as we get along.
That's the traffic copy.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
this will be for Eric. This will be for Karley.
Yeah.
Okay. And Mary, what is your background?
So I am from Rome. I grew up in Rome, went to high school here, graduated from Rome High. And then I went to school in Kennesaw. And then I worked in management for a big retailer for a long time. And then I came to the chamber.
Yeah. So when you were working for this other company, were you in Rome?
I was in Rome for a while, Cartersville, Marietta, Kennesaw.
They moved her around a lot.
Yeah.
And management is you get moved around a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
But Rome was always the base and the home. So happy to be at the chamber and all that stuff. Yeah. So this idea for Elevate, I know it's a little bit of a tease. What's the timeline on when we'll be doing stuff? And
it's like very soon.
And then
that's why Mary got to come on the podcast and talk a little bit about it.
So we will be launching it at the beginning of next month. Since it's volunteer based, volunteers will be coming to businesses and organizations asking for these sponsorships to sponsor different programs and stuff like that. So, but if anyone needs information, you can always call the chamber. Once that launches, and we will announce it through our social media, through our newsletters, through our website.
Is this just because it's funny, we sit here and think you guys rely on membership dollars, but you're in everybody needs money to operate.
Yes.
Right.
So this is just a search for another revenue stream?
Yes. Yeah. And it's another way of my understanding, and Mary can definitely correct me. My understanding is it's kind of there to also bring in the community that maybe you don't see a lot of. Like we have 900 members, and probably we see the most participation only out of 20%. Well, with this, it's going to probably up it to 40 or 50% participation. So bringing more businesses together, their low, advertisement to affiliate, building better programs in the chamber, like our leadership programs, our ambassador programs. I think we're going to do a women's program, our minority initiative program. So it's there to kind of build on top of all of our programs as well.
Well, and create some connectivity for some of these businesses and aren't as involved. Might find them a way they'll connect to. We're involved now because we're sponsoring
the newsletter,
leadership, and then they want to get involved in that.
And I think that is a big point of it is to get everyone involved. Those businesses that are smaller or nonprofits who can't, who are not able to sponsor these big sponsorships. Because a total resource campaign, we have a range of sponsorships. So the point of it is to get every business involved, even if they can't give those thousands and thousands of dollars, give them some marketing opportunities. And also for our volunteers, it's a way to build relationships with businesses that they have not been able to in the past, or, more people find out about the chamber and what we actually do and stuff like that.
Well, not to be a little obvious here, but this chamber podcast does not have a sponsor. So hello, listeners.
Oh, there you go.
Hello, listeners. And you can come on the podcast and talk about your business.
Yeah, we'll have to work that out on our contract.
So where did this idea from Elevate come from? Are we borrowing this from another chamber? Or is this just something that has been brewing for a while, or internally, or how'd it come about?
Yeah. So it's a thing. It is a program that other chambers do participate in. Our partner for this is YGM. They're the trainers for this type of program, or the capital campaign, or the TRC campaign.
Yep.
And so other chambers do it. And then Pam, actually the president, she has some experience from her previous chamber with this. And so we kind of talked through it, and we were wondering if we wanted to do a capital campaign or, transition into a total resource campaign. And we just thought for our chamber, it would fit better.
So what will Megan's role? Megan, what do you know your role will be, or do we know yet? Just kind of supporting anything and everything as it comes in?
Yeah. Kind of directing where everything kind of needs to go.
Yeah. So, okay. Berry College, Kennesaw, Auburn.
I was about to say, you don't know that by now.
Well, didn't Pam come from the chamber down in
Opelika?
Yeah, the Opelika Auburn. Well, it's football season, ladies. I always have to mention my beloved Georgia Bulldogs. So, what events are coming up? Like immediately, what's like breathing down your neck?
Like right now. Well, we do have a major business after hours coming next month, celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. So
yeah, you guys have done that before.
Yeah. River City Bank has been a great partner in wanting to do that again.
Yeah.
Now, what like the ribbon cuttings, is that you or is that chamber? Is that
so? That's where it gets kind of confusing because I still will be point of contact of like ribbon cuttings and like business after hours,
coffee and connections,
our open houses, our chamber celebrations, because I want to build a relationship with our members, but Mary assists me in certain things. So like say we're having a business after hours and like River City Bank, they wanted help with how do we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. And so Mary came up with some few ideas. She's not going to plan their event. Sure. She's not an outsourced planner. She is ours, but she can help them.
Do you cater?
But she kind of helps them with ideas and like, this might be a great idea for you. This one, or like, maybe a company has came to us before and was like, we would love to partner with someone on this insert idea. And so Mary kind of keeps a list of that and is like, okay, let me pair you with this person, like contact that person. We've had a lot of contact with them and they want to partner with that. So I kind of am the initial person, like, and you'll get the sponsorships. So Business After Hours and Coffee Connections are still sponsorships. So they're going to be part of the TRC. But when we're planning it, you'll contact me. We'll get it scheduled. I'll make sure everything on the chamber's end is right. And then if they need further assistance, they can contact me or Mary and we'll work together as a team.
Well, I just help enhance their events if they want me to help them. Yeah,
I got you. And some of those are kind of the routine that you do often, and you're going to be focusing energies on some of the bigger, longer planning things. Megan, what are your impressions of the team that you have that you have stepped into to work with here?
I love it. I mean, everyone's been really nice, really welcoming. I kind of knew Mary before a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And then the intern that we have, Hannah, she's my dog sitter, so I've known her for a while. But I mean, everyone's been really great. Like Karley's been really welcoming, really, really helpful. So
does just in Mary in your time and Karley in your time, with the staff growing, does it just feel like you're getting so much more done, or does it feel like we were overworked and now we're finally getting enough people in there?
Honestly, it would probably depend on the day. Right. You asked that because there were a few days that me, Amber, and Mary would like look at each other, kind of jokingly, be like, is today Wednesday? Is today Friday? I'm kind of confused on what month it is, what year it is. But since it's grown, I feel like we're kind of settling more into more of a common like routine where it kind of flows a little bit better. Like with an orchestra, like if one person's off beat just because it's like feels like they're like being overworked, it doesn't sound pretty. And then when we're all there, it sounds beautiful. It's a masterpiece.
It's a metaphor of that's a great metaphor.
I know. Well, we are an orchestra. Let me tell you.
Let's put that on a T-shirt.
I say I would go with like a football analogy of it's a team working together, and the quarterback's doing this while there's somebody's got a block.
Right.
So the roles are kind of becoming more clearly defined.
Yes, and again with the staff growing, I think this is probably where we're gonna kind of try to stay at for a longer future. We might end up having to grow even more. Who knows? But this is kind of where I think Pam wanted it to be. Mm-hmm. So this is like her ideal because like I can't speak for Pam because she calls the shots. But I think this is kind of what her idea was of who we needed and roles and everything that has in our community. Because she had to do a lot of changing too because her old community is very different than the new community of Rome now.
Right. So, Mary, since you predate Karley,
Yes.
So what do you think of the team that's been assembled?
No, I really
the Erics and who am I leaving out?
Oh gosh,
Alex.
Eric's the worst. I'm just kidding. I love Eric. No,
We do like to tease each other.
we do tease each other a lot. So we're kind of like a family. We all work together. We all, I think we all work together very well, at least. And then, we all help each other out. So even though, like Karley was saying, we all have our roles and they're more defined, we're still,
we still collab a lot.
We still go to each other for ideas or, hey, like, what do you think about this? Or just any little thing. We talk, our offices are pretty close together. So we all kind of be like, hey.
Yeah, sometimes we yell down the hall.
Yeah. Can you come to my office or something like that? So I think we have a really great team. And I don't tell everybody this, but I tell Pam all the time. I'm like, we got so lucky to have such a great coworkers, and
especially
stuff like that.
Since it was just y'all three for the longest time. You could probably speak more about feeling like you were overworked, maybe.
And so it's been nice to not be overworked. I'm just kidding. To have just certain responsibilities and stuff like that. So.
Well, and there's the chamber always has so much going on, but to Pam's vision, okay, we want to do this, but we want to do it right. And now we've got people in place to do things right, and you can certainly do more. So, like, what has been you mentioned over 900 chamber members. Of course, not everybody's active, and the goal is to get as many of them as active as possible. But like where you do see the interaction, you do see the participation, are you seeing that growth as well and energy in the community as they connect with y'all?
I mean, that's a loaded question, definitely a lot of layers to that because we're working towards that. And I definitely think the sponsorships are going to help that. I think what we've heard from not staff and board members that the chamber is doing really, really well, even with our partnerships, like how we're working more together with tourism and economic development and DDA, and like how we really want to like hold each other's hand and move forward in this community.
Right. It's like there's some people that are in your ambassador program, and they're all fired up, and they're for the chamber. So you're just trying to grow the base of who all's fired up.
Yes. Yeah. That's, and
not that they have to be an ambassador, because there's lots of ways to be fired up and get involved.
Yeah. And again, kind of harping on that idea of like getting fired up, like we want to be a resource. This whole year, we've really harped on trying to be more of a resource for businesses. Like, please contact us. We want to try to help you as much as we can.
Well, for our listeners, the last several months of shows have been a resource series of ways to tap into, whether it's insurance things you can get through the chamber, or
the Small Business Development Center.
Yeah.
And, who do we point you in the right direction to, whether that's you grow your business, whether you just have simple questions that you're not sure who to take it to, or maybe
you call Megan.
Yeah. Call Megan.
Megan will answer.
Yes.
And then you'll direct. And then sometimes it's something that even if it comes to y'all, you'll say, oh, let me connect you. It still could be external.
Yeah. And that's a lot. I would say a lot of that honestly comes from it.
Yeah. Let me connect you with so-and-so, but some of it will be internal. Oh, this will be part of our annual meeting, or what have you.
And Megan will answer a lot more questions as she gets a little, not 2 weeks in.
Yeah.
What was the interview process like?
It was Pam and Mary, and it was honestly kind of chill. I just really asked, I was like, Mary, what is your typical Monday like? And she gave me a really good answer. And
long?
It wasn't really long though. I mean,
no, it's different every Monday.
Yeah. That was pretty much the gist of it. It was like, you kind of don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It was really just sitting down with the two of them. And then I went back to where I was working before, and Pam called me.
She got the call.
And you're hired.
Yeah.
And so 2 weeks in?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, not even like a
Not
full
even
2
a full
weeks.
2 weeks.
This is like a week.
This is her second week. Yeah.
So when you're new on the job and they say, oh, by the way, you're coming on the podcast.
Yeah, she kind of, her eyes did get really big, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't really love doing this kind of stuff." And I was like, "It's fine." They
Karley
made me
was
do
like,
it.
It's completely fine, and I was like, okay.
They made me do it, and they made me do it with the board, like 2 board members that I didn't even know yet. And I was, do you remember that?
I do not.
Oh my gosh, I was like, my voice was so shaky, and I'm a pretty loud person, and I felt like I was like really,
I do remember
really
that.
I was really, really quiet. And it was, and I love our board members. They're so nice now.
Yeah.
I just didn't know them.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to mess up in front of them. So like, I was like, Megan, you got this.
You want to mess up, especially on tape.
Yeah.
Well, you
It's
see,
recorded
It
evidence.
lives forever.
you seem like an expert now.
No, really.
Yeah, on the podcast.
Yes,
It's
you really do.
It's because Roger is like,
I literally, the way the podcast model works here at Rome Business Radio, and to anybody that wants to listen, anybody in Rome can have their own podcast. We have the studio. They show up. It's a pay for service. Mm-hmm. You come. You can be the expert in your field. You can have your own customers on or whatever. So you don't have to worry about studio or equipment or getting it published. But I literally don't have to be on this show. I just kind of moderate it. But everybody at the chamber, Karley could carry this show. Pam could carry the show. Y'all, but until they tell me to, stop coming on, I'm just going to keep coming on.
you come set it up and make it. You ask other questions as kind of an outsider, because I forget sometimes like basic knowledge. Like when you're in it every day, you're like, oh wait, that makes sense in my head, but like if someone doesn't know what a chamber does,
Correct, yeah.
So
Well, it's like you jumped in when she was talking about the inner city program. You said, "Hey, stop! Please define what you mean by that," because I was about to ask that.
yeah, I've gotten a little bit better being with you for a year now, a little over a year now.
Yeah, I guess seems like longer.
Roger always says that we need we
need our own morning radio.
yeah,
show.
like a morning radio show, and it's like because he loves to. And why I said the age thing, because Mary's young and Megan's young, and the people that listen,
and I'm old,
and the people that listen know that Roger loves to give me a hard time about my age.
Just sometimes I mention things and then I go, "Oh, what do you even know what?"
He asked me if I knew who Madonna was.
Oh my goodness! Oh.
Yes, thank you.
Anyway, well, did you know that yesterday was the anniversary of Elvis Presley's death? And do you know who Elvis Presley is?
Oh my!
Because of you, I do. I know about his entire
Is that
life.
movie that just came out?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Austin Butler, right?
Austin Butler. That's Elvis, right?
Oh, you guys cracked me up. Okay, well, we've totally lost control of the show. This is one reason why I probably shouldn't be on. So let's kind of circle back around here and just kind of for some final wrap up thoughts. Okay, we've got Elevate.
Yes.
Starting soon. Yes. There's already information on the website.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But you're the point of contact.
Yes.
So,
and there's a form on the website, so if you fill that out, it'll send a message directly to me, so I can always I'll reach out whenever I get that.
Okay. Is there anything else going on that people need to know about, like from your sticky notes and your calendar that people need to be thinking about for their calendar coming down the road?
We don't have Expo this year, but.
Right.
Next year, we think we're going to have it.
It's in the works.
Yes.
With the forum, now it's open to the public. So we're hoping to have it in some form or fashion.
In 24.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, then I remember during COVID, it was just everything got derailed for a while.
It did. So getting back on that took a minute, but now we're hoping, in the future it'll come back in some sort of way. So. Okay.
And then annual meeting is...
It'll be in March.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So so we're into next spring, and
yes.
So these are kind of the big picture things you're already focusing on. As you said, your calendar is the 2024
Yes.
calendar.
I know. I'm already planning those major events for next year. So
okay, and Elevate, when it starts, is that so people will be reaching out to members or?
Yes,
okay.
People will be reaching out to members, but if for some reason they haven't reached out to you or anybody, even if they're not members and they're looking to join the chamber to be a part of this campaign, just go ahead and call us, email us, fill out that form online, message us on Facebook or something. We'll definitely get back to you.
Okay, what is your direct email?
Mine is mrico@romega.com.
Okay, and Megan, you're going to be like the first point of contact for any general question or any specific question. You'll direct them.
Yes.
And so, like, what are the phone numbers or your direct email?
My email is mpatrick@romega.com.
She probably doesn't know the phone number right now.
Can we mention it?
Well, I only know it because I had your position for a while, but it's 706-291-7663.
Okay. Karley, any final thoughts from you?
Just, again, we are a resource. We want to be a resource. So any questions you might have about what the Chamber does for our community or, how we could help you as a business, please reach out. We do want to really help our community. That's how we grow our community in an economic way, is to make sure our businesses are thriving.
Yeah. And membership creates connectivity. Y'all have so many events to come meet and network. And
yes.
You do it.
And I think it's finally getting back to kind of a normal, we're out of the COVID years.
Yeah.
So it's slowly getting back to more of a normal networking kind of scene.
Well, and you do your regular email blast of upcoming events.
Yes.
Things like that. So it's just a way to know what's going on.
Definitely connect with people. Like if you are in sales, I have to recommend coming to those networking events. They're so easy to just, small talk, kind of make a connection with someone and then build on top of that.
Right.
So.
And the website is romega.com.
Yes. And again, a lot of information is on there. So if you're not comfortable with speaking with someone on the phone or emailing yet, you can get a lot of information on there. So we are here to help him. My email is kparker@romega.com.
All righty. Well, ladies, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Megan, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Don't screw it up.
She's not going to.
She's doing amazing.
Yeah. We've already put so much on her for just a week and a half.
Yeah.
And Mary, good luck in the new role, which is kind of an old role redefined that just kind of
bigger, better.
Yes.
Yeah. And Karley, as always, thank you for being here.
You're always welcome.
And brightening my day with your unique take on the world. All right, you've been listening to the Rome Floyd Chamber Show here on Rome Business Radio. We broadcast from the Hardy Realty Studios on beautiful Broad Street in downtown Rome. Thank you so much for listening.